thank yous here for people who are present. First of all, right over here we have Georgia. She was featured in 3 different songs singing that beautiful song that you heard when the fireworks were going over. That was her voice, so thank you. Okay. We also have present a lot of our crew members. We have over here Casey. He was one of our main grips in the project. Very important grips are the people who carry things around for us. So, and behind the camera, that's my husband, Justin Allman. He was our production manager and could not have done it without him. And of course, I'm going to have these 2 lovely ladies stand up. We have our 2 leading ladies, Ms. Wendy Bradford and also Sarah Barbulesco, otherwise known as Cunningham. So, anyone in here who, if you could raise your hand if you saw the first version of the film and now you're seeing the second one? Okay, does anybody have any comments about changes that they saw in there? There were scenes that were removed, there were a couple of things that were added. Yeah?
It was a lot better.
You like it a lot better? Okay, what was it that you really liked better about it?
It had more of a flow to the storyline, even though it had a subplot. That was kind of interesting to include.
Okay.
But it was good to have a happy ending.
Okay. Yes, I definitely wanted to have a happy ending. I've seen a lot of films that are about disease, and I think that, especially in this kind of film, it's very easy to have a tragic ending. I think that's what everyone's expecting, and hopefully that all of you guys were a little bit fooled there at the end and believed that he would be dead. That was the point, so I hope that there was that misconception. But I think that it's important that people realize that while this disease is tragic, it does affect thousands of people across the United States as well as across the world. That there is a lot of hope and that families can deal with this, and even a family such as this one that is struggling with so many other things, that they can still come together and find a way to make this work. Other questions or questions you have for the girls? I know I'm putting them on the spot, but they're fabulous. So.
How could they continue filming for so long in such great hours and retain such composure?
Mr. Altman. How did you guys continue filming day after day? You guys have to realize that the schedule was very arduous for my crew and cast. We had a very low budget for the film, which meant that we only could rent the equipment that we used to film this for 4 weeks. So we shot this entire film in 3.5 weeks, which led to about 17-hour days every day with only 3 days off, which were not consecutive. And so yes, and actually one of the weekends, that club scene that you see where it looks, I'm sure, pleasant for certain reasons, all of that club stuff was done on a weekend that was 114 degrees in Sacramento, which meant it was about 120 degrees with lights inside while we were all filming. So, and then the pool scene, which we just won't talk about, went until 4 in the morning with all those people who were fabulous enough to stay in that pool until 4 in the morning while we were filming. So I offer that question to you girls. How did you survive that? Why did you keep coming back every day? I know it couldn't have been me, so.
You signed a contract.
Sign a contract. Courtney, you want to feel that way?
The group of people was just wonderful to work with, like the cast and the crew and Sarah and just everybody was so much fun. So we, it was just fun to come back and see what would happen day after day, and it's kind of cool because every day you shoot something different, so it's always something new, a new scene that you're going to be working on.
And the people who work in this really cared so much about it. You can really tell that people had a lot of love and emotion going into this, and it's really a project you want out of that. So it made you more fun.
Yeah, these girls were such troopers. Rachel was actually trying to work a job at the same time as doing our film, which I was glad I didn't get her fired from. Almost the number of times I called Rachel and said, "So can you be late to work again? Just one more time." And then Courtney, for anyone who knows Courtney, she is the most wonderful person in the whole world. She never gets upset, 15 hours into filming, and she's got, the cracked out makeup on, and she's been there all day, and she's still the friendliest, most upbeat, kind person ever, and so she kept us going. Other questions? Yeah, Ken.
What's the most difficult moment if you find yourself in during this?
There were a couple of those. The pool scene was very hard for me, just because I felt, since we were filming until 4 in the morning, I was very concerned that, one, I was killing all my people, because I literally had crew members asleep on the cement because they were so exhausted. I had an arachnophobic crew member who was inside a bush with spiders trying to boom mic, for anyone who knows Arwen, that was her. You know, I was just so worried I was going to lose everybody after that night, but they all came back again. And so I was very, very happy that we survived that. So I'd say for me, that was the hardest night, was the pool scene. Just emotionally, I was very concerned about my people. So, I don't know, what would you guys say? What was your hardest night?
I think pool scene.
The pool scene for you also? Yeah? Yeah. I mean, next that would be what we lovingly named Club Inferno, the really hot club, just because we were worried everybody physically was going to expire there. So, we did have a couple of heat stroke moments.
Were there any disagreements in between you and your actors?
There were, I didn't know about them. No, actually, all of my actors were really fabulous people. I mean, any difficulties we faced, I thought were perfectly reasonable, just scheduling
I was really
conflicts.
talking about
Oh,
the
between
vision.
them?
No.
Oh, for
Between
the vision of the
your
film?
vision and their execution, not necessarily.
No. If anything, I'd say that they completely added to the film, because I had my vision of what I thought the characters looked like, what I thought the story should look like, and I think that their own personalities really influenced that. I would say the biggest changes came with someone who's not here, which is Elvin McCrae, who played Drew, the kid who had muscular dystrophy. Drew, when I envisioned him, was a little more childish and a little more upbeat, and when Elvin I think he brought a maturity to the character that was different, and I really liked that. I thought that he was very real, and it removed a bit of the levity that I'd intended, but I think that he did it really well. So,
Would you agree with that?
what do you think?
Yeah, I felt that the direction was perfect. I always knew where my character fit in. I felt like I knew what the story was going with, so I thought that the direction was perfect.
There was a hand back here?
Yeah, what was your motivation for making a film about this particular subject?
Well, I have a friend who has Duchenne muscular dystrophy, just like in the film. He's about to turn 21 in another week. I used to babysit him from the time that I was about 11 years old. I babysat him when he was about 3. And so I grew up across the street from him, and had an opportunity to, actually really see what it's like to live with muscular dystrophy. And I think that it's a disease that unfortunately so few people know about. And I think that it's important that we get the word out there that this exists, and that people should be, putting some sort of effort into it. Yes, Erin.
I was wondering what you learned as a filmmaker and director while you were making this film.
I think I would have loved to have had more time. I think that I definitely learned that time is something that allows for a better film. I think that if I had more time, I would have been able to direct more and do more. And I don't know. I have to think about that a little more, but I definitely learned a lot of things in that. Just very technical things, just the shots I would have done, lighting I would have done, different things, choices I would have made. Yes?
I would just say, as someone who worked on the film, when I signed up for this, I knew pretty much nothing about muscular dystrophy at all. And so through doing this, I learned a lot about it. It is a very, impacts disease. And so that for me was educational as well. So